All right, so I don't really know what direction to take this, but I wanted to talk about dating as a millennial. I was fortunate to be able to see what it was like dating before apps and after dating apps. I can reassure you that women haven't changed. Uh, you may have heard that dating apps have destroyed the dating market, but everything's still functioning exactly the way it was. The only thing that dating apps did was kind of expose what it is that men and women, how they view dating based off of just looks in a profile. So women are a whole lot more picky as far as it comes to just meeting some guy that they don't know, a stranger, whereas men are more willing to meet a stranger. That's about it, and it also gives the more good-looking guys uh, more women to choose from because the good looking ones on that app is going to get all the attention. So that's really nothing new. Just kind of gives those really good looking guys more opportunities and more ladies to choose from. Really hasn't changed women or dating. That's pretty much all the same. So oddly enough, I actually did fairly good on dating apps compared to what people are complaining about right now. They came along around the time that I was in my mid 20s. So that's when they were starting to become a thing. That was around the time that women actually started noticing me. So my whole approach to dating was basically I wasn't going to date until I was ready to get married. And so I put off dating until I was out of college. And I found out that was probably a mistake because once I got out of college, the women were gone. They were gone and they were all in college. So there was nobody around my age out there that I could even try to date. They just weren't. They weren't there. And then back before the dating apps, you would basically have to figure out how to meet somebody in person that's a stranger and being just your average guy and young. That is extremely hard. That is nothing new. So now that you have dating apps, people have realized that really your best option is to, if you're just an average guy, your best option is to basically try to meet women in person. And if you're a guy just trying to meet a stranger, basically you need to go into it with the understanding that I'm probably not considered attractive to her. I didn't realize that until recently. I mean, but now that I can reflect back on it, it's like, oh, that kind of makes sense now. Why I thought it was me. I thought I was the problem. I thought there was something wrong with me, but it was not me. It was my approach. My whole approach to women was wrong. I mean, no man is going to have the looks usually. So what you're going to have to build off of is your masculinity, your man traits. So all you guys out there that are complaining about not being able to find a woman, just keep working on yourself, keep looking. What you're going to need to do is actually keep trying to talk to women. It's something you have to learn. You're going to have to trial and error it until you get it right. Also, it may just be like my approach. It got better over time, but it didn't really change a whole lot. And then all of a sudden, it was like a switch flipped, and girls just started to notice me. And that was around the time that I met my wife and settled down. So, men, don't get discouraged too much. Just keep working on yourself, work on your career. I would like to say that, your physical appearance isn't something that you need to focus on, but it is. You definitely, as a man, need to hit the gym, keep strong, keep in shape. You never know when you're going to need to use that physical brute strength for some reason to stop somebody from doing something or to just intimidate somebody or to just look good. and then also start building on your character. So I would recommend going to a church and start focusing on character building, and hopefully a good girl will come across your path while you're there. When I was a young man going to church, there were pretty much no girls between the ages of 18 and 30 going to church that weren't already married. So it was not a promising environment in order to find somebody that you are looking for. So my whole approach to dating was to abstain from sex. I was a Christian, and I strongly believe that everybody should be doing that now. And then also basically looking for my future wife. What I'd highly recommend is you look for somebody that, first off, you like, and you cannot completely remove physical attraction. I had to be physically attracted to my spouse, and she learned to be physically attracted to me, I guess. That piece of the puzzle you won't ever be able to remove, probably. Find somebody that aligns with your religious beliefs would be ideal, and also somebody that you need to talk about your life goals. What is it you're wanting to do after marriage, or are you even looking for marriage or kids, or what is it that you're going to expect from that partner when you get married? So that's something you got to decide that you like over time, and find somebody that meets that. And one thing I used to hear a lot when I was growing up was, "Oh, you're just too picky." It's like, what? Okay. Would you date somebody you don't like? I never understood what they never had any reason to even say it. I just wasn't able to find dates easily, so they automatically chalked it up as being picky. It's like, come on, seriously? You should be picky. I mean, this is a huge decision. And I was looking for somebody for the long run. I wasn't just looking to have fun. And another trait that you might look for is political beliefs, but that one might be a little harder to find somebody that aligns with. So typically the younger men are going to lean more right, and the younger women are going to lean more left. You're going to have that one's going to be a hard one. The religious convictions and the goals in life are really the main thing. As long as you have those lined up for each other, and you also cannot have divorce as an option. What I like is when my wife and I are celebrating an anniversary, and the waiter or waitress says, "Oh, how have you done it? How have you made it last so long?" Even though it doesn't feel like it's been a very long time, but they just feel compelled for some reason to be like, "Oh, how have you done it? What's your secret?" And what I like to say is, don't get divorced. That's pretty much the secret. So if you have that door open to jump out of as soon as things get a little hard, then it's just going to be the easy way out, and somebody's going to want to take it, and it's never going to be a good, steady, solid, secure relationship if divorce is an option. Plus, if you're somebody that keeps dangling divorce over your spouse's head, saying, "If you don't do this, I'm going to leave," that's just manipulation. That is not a good strategy whatsoever. So if you plan on having a good relationship, keeping your spouse in the stress zone by just saying, "I'll divorce you, you need to do this," then yeah, that's a horrible thing. That is a horrible thing to do to somebody, and that's just that's not having a relationship. You're just basically manipulating a person into doing everything that you want, and that's bad. And you need to be going into these relationships with the intent to find somebody that you can basically shower with love, somebody that you can put their needs up here. You can be like, "All right, I want to get to know this person. I want to find out what it is that they love and need, and then I'm going to be the person that tries to get that for them." But man, it gets complicated. But you don't want to be that guy that's just going around saying, "Ooh, what do you need? What can I do for you? I just want to serve you." You don't want to be that guy either. So it's get a good balance. You gotta. That's one thing that I figured out when I was dating was being that nice guy, being that guy that just wanted to drop everything for a woman. That approach didn't work. So one thing I want to assure this generation that's coming up of is women are not just out there looking to cash in on some guy and his money. They're not just out there to find somebody that looks good and then use them. The content out there on YouTube right now about the dating market and how women behave is really not looking good for women. They're going to basically be painting women in a light that's going to make them look like they're just in it for the money and they're just going to end up leaving you anyway. The divorce statistics are not accurate. I'm sure you've heard 50% divorce rate. Well, that's not correct. So you need to look at ever married people and what their divorce rate is instead of the way the current calculation is, which is not even close to what it would represent in reality. So if I remember right, it's anywhere between 30 and 40% that the actual divorce rate is, and it's not a 50-50. It's not a coin toss. The odds are still not the best, but as a man or a woman, you're going to go into this with some risk. You got to want it, and you got to be willing to take a risk. It's not risk-free at all. There's no guarantees in this if you're going to be dating. But as a man, why would you be avoiding the risks? That's the whole point. You're supposed to be out there taking risks and trying to make something. Make a good relationship. Or go find a woman, make a family, and then you can see what you can create out of that. What good you can bring out of that instead of just worrying about what could happen that's bad, what she might do to you, how she might make you feel, how she might destroy your finances. But even if the worst thing happens to you and you're just left stuck on your own with a whole bunch of bills to pay and a whole bunch of money to shell out, as a man, you're going to eventually get through it. Take it one day at a time. Don't go thinking about killing yourself over something like that. And just chug through it. Just, as a man, bust your way through it. Start to get on your knees and pray, first of all. And then buckle down and then just get through it. As a man, you will get through it. You have that ability. Just as a man, you have the ability to be able to make something out of a horrible situation. So don't let it discourage you too much. And also, a lot of stuff you'll see online is basically you're always going to be threatened with a lawsuit if you do something that makes a woman uncomfortable. And that's complete nonsense. You gotta constantly worry about somebody taking your words the wrong way. Women are not out there just looking for a man to press charges against. So don't do something stupid where you approach a girl that's all by herself out in a parking lot. Of course, she's going to feel a little intimidated, and she should. But, or if you don't get offended if she gets a little erratic out of fear, that's perfectly normal. It is discouraged to date somebody within the work environment that you have. But if you are going to do that, you cannot be a supervisor level person, somebody with authority within a company, and then dating somebody that's underneath you. That is a big no-no. You can put that girl in a bad situation to where she has to think about whether or not she's going to lose her job if she doesn't give in to your requests, or she's going to feel like she's just being pressured into it because of your authority. And then, that's where the lawsuits are going to come in. You need to avoid that at all costs. do not be dating somebody that you have any kind of authority over or any kind of financial authority over. That is a huge no-no, and that is a lawsuit waiting to happen there. And for good reason. That puts somebody in a very difficult position. If you're getting approached from somebody that has authority over you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to feel that pressure. So don't put somebody in that situation. But one thing you can do is you can date somebody at your level in your company. You probably need to disclose it, but it's something that you can do. You just cannot date somebody that's below you. It's a that's a huge risk. You cannot be doing that. One of the biggest takeaways from dating before and after dating apps is just it's better to meet your spouse in person, and it's going to be easier for your average man to find somebody and get to know them first and then date them, or maybe even blind dates. That is a good option too. Dating apps probably won't work out for you, but definitely give them a shot. I mean, there's a chance you could actually get somebody, but your odds seem to not be in your favor if you're a man. And women, if you're on dating apps, you're probably going to run into, well, I guess most of the guys that you run into that you're interested in are probably going to be somebody that looks good and possibly low character. So you gotta somebody that's just out there to hook up and have fun. Avoid that. So your best option is to meet somebody in person and get to know them and date them. I will say, men, you don't want to end up in the friend zone if you're trying to get with a girl to date. And the way to avoid that is to just not make it your goal to be friends with her. So you need to go into it with the intention of, I like this person, I want to date them, so I'm going to ask them out and try to date them instead of be their friend. Don't put them on a huge pedestal like, oh, you're so perfect, I need to do everything for you because I love you. Don't do that. Treat her just like a normal person. Let her know your intentions. Be like, hey, I want to take you out. I like you. Just be straight up. Don't hide anything, and don't overdo it on the whole putting them up on a pedestal. You treat them like somebody you just want to, be with. Not somebody that you're trying to impress. But, I mean, you do want to impress them, but don't make that your goal. If they're not impressed with you, move on. And if somebody breaks up with you, just don't go back to them, because there's probably a reason that they broke up with you, and that's probably something that you can't change. So it's best to just, once they leave you, if you're just dating, move on to the next person, because something about you they don't like, and then you're probably not going to be able to change it anyway. And if you're married, though, and your spouse leaves you, definitely try to get that reconciled. Don't leave that one hanging out there. Do what you can. Fix that. That's a completely different thing than dating. So, all you young men out there that are having a hard time getting a woman to find you of any interest, especially if it's a stranger, you're just trying to strike up a conversation, definitely keep trying. It will eventually start working. The more you talk to women, the easier it'll get, and the less it's going to hurt, and you kind of get calloused over from all the rejection. Don't take it personal. Women that are strangers are probably not going to find you of any interest whatsoever. Don't take it personal. I used to take it personal. That was a big mistake, and I really put myself down because of it. Don't do that. You will get better with time and practice. Just keep doing it. Keep approaching women, and the women that are around you at church or at work on your level, any social circles, just keep trying. It gets easier. Every girl's different, and that's something that the videos online just completely screw up. They don't They don't even care that people are different. They just lump all the bad stuff into a group, and then they pin it all on that gender and say this is what they are. When, I mean, some of them are accurate, but most of them, yeah, every person is different. You got to take every person, treat them differently, because they are different. Different. So go out there, do it. Approach women, guys. If you're a young man, it's going to be hard. They're not going to see you as much value, probably. And that's one thing that I hate is that, oh, how do you get a high value man, or how do you get a high value woman? Ugh, that phrase is just nonsense. Every person has a different definition and level of high value, and there's different categories of value that you can place on somebody. Let's say character is a good value to have. Well, somebody might have good looks, bad character, which seems to be a combination for some reason. And what you'll find out is most of you women out there, as long as you take decent care of yourself, you're going to be attractive to a man. Yes, looks are nice, but they're not the hook that catches you. The hook that'll catch a man will be, how is your character? So are you abrasive? Are you confrontational? Are you insulting people? Are you rude to waiters and waitresses? Are you rude to the fast food people? Switch a guy to seeing you as more beautiful, as if you step up the kindness and the sweetness. So let's say a guy opens the door for you. Just give him a sweet look, a smile, and say thank you. And just be sweet. Just be sweet. I mean, that can go a long ways. So there's some of the dating advice I have. I mean, that's not all of it. We can have another discussion later. We'll see. But yeah, I got to experience it pre and post dating apps. Dating apps are not usually for the average man a way that he can go to actually find somebody. Women, you can use the dating apps and find somebody, but most likely it's not going to be that great a quality of a person. So what I would suggest is try to meet somebody you know, work through your friends, somebody in the circle, or ask some of your friends if they know anybody that can set you up on a blind date. I've been on blind dates, good, bad. Just do it. Do it. Start meeting each other, start getting together, start approaching one another. Just get to know each other out there. Stop avoiding each other. Women are not going to just sue you over you going and making a move and just taking a chance and saying, hey, I really like you, or I think you're cute. Just go for it. You will learn over time how to do it. It sucks getting rejected. I've been there so many times. And it doesn't, I mean, it sucks every time, but you get used to it. And you're going to need to have the character to be able to take rejection and to take somebody not seeing any value in you and be able to go from there. That is a huge thing when you get into the job market also. Anyway, that's a character that you can build off of as far as being able to handle rejection, handle somebody that sees no value in you, and being able to move on, because people like that are going to be everywhere in the job market. As a man, you're going to have to deal with that. Your boss. And yeah, women are no exception. Women can help you build up that character through the rejection that you get. And, I would never know what it's like to be the good-looking guy that doesn't really see the rejection, but I will say, if you have a friend that's one of those guys that women are just drawn to, you never want to take him as your wingman, because he's going to screw it up for everybody. I've had friends like that, and basically whole group of guys and a whole group of girls, and then you got the one friend that's really attractive to them, and the whole group of girls will try to go for him and ignore everybody else. It is so messed up. It is messed up. But yeah, I mean, just get your heart broke, get rejected, build off that, and learn how to approach people. Everybody's different. You're eventually going to get there. Just keep trying, keep approaching.